Welcome back to the Zombie Zone. I am joined with Evil Geniuses Potter, leading into stage two of VCT Americas. First off, just starting simple. I know the usual hobbies, but how's your summer been? Have you done anything fun?
Um, I've been puppy sitting, actually Ethan's golden retriever for the past few weeks. And so having a second dog has definitely changed a lot. I've been busy. I've been really busy chasing around a second dog. So that's been a lot of fun. But otherwise, yeah, the summer's been just really preparing and crunch time for stage two. So that's been fun too.
Amazing, and that's cool to hear that like you're still close with Ethan in that regard. That your dog sitting, you didn't hijack his dog to bring to Evil Geniuses Media Day with Poe.
No, no, it would have been way too much actually. Katsu was just sitting at home in my apartment, but I did bring Poe. But yeah, no, that would have been hectic day with two puppies.
It would have been for sure, for sure. And so I do want to backtrack a little bit. I did get to talk with Zerona and Pancakes a little bit right after or that match that ended off the stage versus Crew. But I wanted to get your perspective on how some of those developments roster wise transpired and how that then translated into, like you mentioned, this crunch time with getting things ready. And so first and foremost, like I mentioned, they came on really fast, and you had a decent showing at the EWC qualifiers. But I noticed on socials it was like a full month until like Calm and Okeanos' release actually got like announced. Was that just like logistical, or was there like an evaluation period like within Evil Geniuses to figure out like what the roster was gonna be moving on, or what did that look like from your perspective?
It was mostly logistical, but
Okay.
EG are making sure they're crossing their T's and dotting their I's and making sure everything is set to go. But yeah, it was mostly logistical.
Okay, making sure. And so then that means a lot of the time was towards making sure that this set five was good to go. And I did want to do like kind of one last question on the previous iteration of the roster, just because when this roster was announced at the beginning of the season, like you
Mhm.
were super excited to be reunited with Calm to help on his next journey of becoming an IGL. And so I was curious, like, why don't you think that roster, I guess, succeeded to the highest standards, or was it like the pressure of like this being the last year of America's franchising, or like what do you think wish you could have gone differently?
I wish I wouldn't have I wish I would have paid more attention to the trust factor. I think as soon as we lost it's really tough to have trust as it is when you're talking about a difference of seconds, sometimes milliseconds in a game plan. So it's definitely on me to make sure that trust is there. And I kind of assumed that it was there between me and some of the players. And so that's definitely on me. I think this year it was an uphill battle with figuring out how to get Douglas comfortable with his communications, figuring out how to get Corbin comfortable being a first time IGL. And there was just too many making other people comfortable type of things. And the trust was just broken, unfortunately.
Mm.
And that's definitely on me. And yeah, it came to a point where it wasn't fixable. So yeah, that's how it happened.
I see, I see. And then kind of then progressing into this roster, then obviously the old roster was like that vision of like personalities that meshed really well, that brought energy up, so that Calm was comfortable in IGLing. What do you think the vision was for bringing Zerona and Pancakes on, and how is that developed already with the limited time you guys have had behind the scenes?
Immediately with Zorona and Pancakes, it was already everyone, the core, the remaining 3 plus me, felt right away just an immediate difference in the team, dynamics and the game plan. It's not that the other members weren't playing for the team, it's just there was just so many things going on to make everyone comfortable, and so it just didn't work out, and role issues started to pop up into place. That's just what kinda happens, but fortunately for Jay and Jake, they're both extremely flexible and I think definitely a sports background helps these two for sure. They're team players. They're team players first and foremost, and that really helped catapult just our entire practice regime when it became crunch time for stage two. So it was it became a no-brainer for both of these guys joining the squad.
Amazing. And speaking of that practice regime and the crunch time, what do you think have been the biggest improvements you'd say within the roster as a whole since we last saw those matches about a month ago, a little over a month ago, that you're now seeing as we get ready for this next stage?
Definitely has to be communication. Even without Douglas not being a native English speaker, it's already challenging enough getting five full English speaking players to be on the same page. And so, I would say actually Douglas not speaking English helped us dissect a lot more going into stage two. I approached it just from a different angle again. And we put a lot of emphasis and focus on our communication so that we can be decisive. Watching stage one in the beginning, from kickoff to the start of stage one, we were competitive. We had the trust, and
Hmm.
we didn't win all of our matches decisively, but it was a great start, at least a good starting point for our foundation. And that crumbled. And so going into this stage two, it's been a huge focus of mine to make sure everyone is communicating and saying what they need to say live, and saying what they're feeling.
Amazing. And I did want to ask, because obviously the one rookie that stuck with the squad all over the entire season that's now been under your care, and that's what you're known for, right, with the AG 2023 roster was Bao. How do you feel like he individually has grown since he joined the Evil Geniuses roster across these two iterations?
Bao is such an outlier for me. He's not his personality is such the opposite of what I'm used to. He's got just a different kind of confidence, on and off camera, in and out of the server. It's really pretty cool to witness, but his biggest problem was playing the same way that he plays in scrims. What he does and his decision making and how he reads the game and just absorbs the information his teammates are giving him. It was just different. And it's not that the stage pressures was getting to him, because again, he's not a guy that gets nervous under the lights because his personality is so what is it, flamboyant, or like he loves it. He loves that uh what is it? I call it the TikTok personality, but he loves being in the spotlight. So it wasn't nerves so much getting to him, but it was just again like the trust factor and just knowing that what he's expecting to happen in the round, even though it's on stage, even though it's high pressure moment, it's going to be the same that what he's been witnessing in the scrims. So getting him comfortable under pressure has been a huge focus, and I think he's improved insanely in the last 3 months.
Amazing. And we're reaching the end of time, so I have one more full question, then like some rapid fire questions. The full question, obviously, I got to see a little bit of the teammates' thoughts on Summit with the last like EG YouTube video or whatever. But I like how you analyze and break things down. So I was curious, just what are your thoughts on the map and what might be like meta or whatever in the context of the VCT Americas region and what the style has been the last few months.
Hmm. I think Summit, you're gonna see. Well, it's gonna be different. It's gonna be the battle of the Viper, battle of the Viper or the double initiator. I think you're gonna see NRG on KO, of course, because Ethan is so good on the KO, and it's a really poppy map, just like Corrode was. So if you have a insanely good KO, double initiator is definitely the play with Waylay. But I don't know. I think because nobody's going to be practicing it as much for the first 2 weeks, I'm also expecting some curveballs as well. I think it's kind of been the same story of all 2026. Any comp can work. Any comp can actually work, and especially on Summit being a new map, even though it's so similar to Corrode, it's definitely still new. These doors and how they work and um your game plan around them, it changes the pace. So um I guess what I'm trying to say is I bet we'll see just the same corrode comps that we saw, but I wouldn't be surprised if we saw some X Factor comps, probably versus Envy in my first match coming up next week in a couple days.
Yeah, I had an interview with them, and I'm interested in what they're gonna be doing too, for sure. And then the last two questions, the first one super quick, is what do you think of Bao's haircut? He's been like making a big fuss out of it. Is it really that bad?
So what? Sorry.
Bao's haircut. He's been making a
Oh
stink about it.
no, I think I was just talking to him about it this morning actually, because while he was posing for these pictures, he was feeling himself and feeling his hair. And I'm like,
Oh.
okay, you like your hair now. You like your hair. He's um he's getting comfortable with it. I think it looks good, man. I mean, he definitely I know why he likes his hair before because it's got the anime puff and it's so voluminous and he's got that anime look going, but I think it looks great. He's being dramatic. He knows he's being a drama queen.
Oh, that's so funny. And then last question is just obviously you've commentated GCC. You're super involved in the game changer scene. Even EG picking up their own roster recently. How are you feeling about Game Changers North America getting the grand finals at the LA Arena like a week and a half or something like that after stage two actually ends?
Finally.
Finally.
Finally, I've been jealous and I'm not even playing. I'm not even playing in the GC, but for me, I've been jealous about that. I think it definitely changes everything. Preparing for a LAN event as your final qualifier to get to the world stage, it's important. So I think it's fantastic. I haven't been following the GC scene as much, but what I have been seeing in NA so far this year, I think it's going to be everything is up for grabs, it seems, in NA, especially with Mel taking a step back and Shopify question marks going for them. So I'm excited. I think, especially for NA, this kind of shakeup is really good for the scene, especially for the number threes, fours, fives teams in NA looking up now. Now they should feel like, okay, this is my time. This is my time to seize it and take Shopify spots. So I think it's amazing.
Yeah, it's definitely roster mania, and then all the orgs coming in is amazing. So, yeah, I'm excited for it for sure, and I'm excited for you guys in stage two. Good luck, and thank you for taking the time to speak with me.
Thank you.